Something smart to chew on. The Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom, informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI, food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. It is Tuesday, the 24th of February 2026. And of course, you can get us at 101.1 FM radio. But we're also available on our Facebook Live feed. Just search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. We're also broadcasting, are available, I should say, on YouTube as well as on our website, rcistlucia.com. Of course, I look back in time for today, and we go back to the year 1739 during the Battle of Karnan. The army of Iranian ruler Nadir Shah defeated the forces of the Mughal Emperor of India, Muhammad Shah. In the year 1821, Agustin de Iturbide and Vicente Guerrero agreed to the Plan of Iguala, stating that Mexico would become a constitutional monarchy, with Roman Catholicism the official religion and both Peninsulares and Creoles enjoying equal political and social rights. 1868, on this day, the United States House of Representatives voted 126 to 47 to impeach President Andrew Johnson. 1942, on this day, the Battle of Los Angeles took place, a series of anti-aircraft engagements over the city in response to a rumored but false Japanese attack. My apologies. And that attack would last until the morning of the following day. 1946, on this day, General Juan Perón was first elected president of Argentina. 2008, on this day, Fidel Castro retired as the president of Cuba due to ill health after nearly 50 years in power. And in the year 2022, on this day, Russia launched a full-scale pre-dawn and unprovoked invasion of Ukraine by land, air, and sea, with bombings in several cities. Moments later, Vladimir Putin announced the start of a 3-day special military operation in Ukraine to demilitarize the country. And we now move on to our dish of the day.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to our program here at the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. Now, of course, we want to wish everybody in St. Lucia, hope that you had a very enjoyable and blessed Independence, 47th anniversary of Independence here in St. Lucia. And of course, that saw quite a number of activities around the island, including, of course, the traditional Independence Military Parade, which occurred down in the eastern community of Micoud. And that was followed by an Independence Rally at the very same location, Micoud being the epicenter of events for independence this year, including the ecumenical service, which was held on Friday at the National Shrine, the Church of St. Lucy, in that community as well. And so, of course, we saw a lot of other activities, no doubt, including the likes of drag racing occurring at the base in Vieux-Fort, the disused runway, which is still getting use, part of it at least, despite a recent addition onto that runway, that of a recently built fuel farm. But of course, individuals were still able to enjoy that event, which of course quite often brings hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals to take in those motorsports as well. Of course, lots of bikes on the road, and that has become certainly a staple of Independence. Number of other activities, including the likes of a seafood festival, which occurred at the point, well, at the fisheries complex in Castries. So quite a number of people coming out to enjoy that. Of course, it was perhaps the largest event being held in the city of Castries for Independence on the day itself. So we do hope that everybody had a very enjoyable Independence. Now, of course, at a regional level, we are in fact seeing the 50th meeting of CARICOM heads of government. They're at an inter-sessional meeting. CARICOM heads usually meet twice a year, usually once in February, and the other meeting around the anniversary of the Treaty of Chaguaramas, somewhere around July. And so this meeting, however, is certainly seen to be a pretty critical one for the 15-member grouping. And that, of course, is in part due to the significant challenges that are confronting the Caribbean at this time. And of course, like, we can speak of the Caribbean as a broader space, the Caribbean Sea, and the activities of no making of our own certainly are warranting lots of interest and response from CARICOM heads at this time. They, of course, this meeting, the 50th regular meeting of Caribbean Conference of Heads of Government, that is happening over in St. Kitts and Nevis. And it, in addition to the respective heads, in fact, of course, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, is the current chair. The outgoing chair being the PM out of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. And they, of course, will be part of the individuals addressing that opening ceremony, which is happening later on today. But there are a number of other leaders from around the world who are going to be special guests at this event. The Foreign Affairs Minister from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he will be present and be part of that engagement. Of course, the Saudis have been providing very much needed assistance to a number of islands in the CARICOM region, including St. Lucia. Of course, they came on board to fund the completion of St. Jude Hospital and the George Odlum Stadium. And there's also going to be representation from the Afrexim Bank. They've been a major player over the past couple of years in terms of strengthening Africa-Caribbean relations. And the chairperson of that Afrexim Bank, Dr. George Ilombi, will be one of the special guests for this CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. Also, the Commonwealth Secretariat Secretary General, she is Shirley Bochwe, and she's the 7th SG of the Commonwealth, and the first time that a woman from Africa is holding that position. Of course, a woman from the Caribbean did so in the past, but certainly she'll also be present as well as, and in addition to her, the sorry, the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, also a very important contributor to some efforts here in the Caribbean by way of funding different projects, including in the renewable energy field. But certainly, one particular area, an individual who has been kicking up a bit of a interest, has been that of the Secretary of State of the United States of America, Mr. Marco Rubio. Now, he's going to be participating in this event, excuse me, tomorrow. And according to the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown, in their post, that Secretary of State Rubio, during his trip, will engage with Caribbean leaders to advance shared priorities, including strengthening regional security, deepening cooperation to combat illegal immigration and illicit trafficking, and promoting economic growth, health, and energy security across the Caribbean. Of course, this is coming on the backdrop of recent events in Venezuela. We've seen the removal of the sitting president of Venezuela and his wife, Mr. Maduro, and his wife, and they are currently, of course, in the United States facing charges of narco trafficking. We, of course, have also seen what is going on in the Caribbean Sea, and that event was in part, we were told, why the U.S. saw a significant build-up of military assets in the Caribbean as a means of dealing with narco trafficking. And we saw the likes of aircraft carriers and other vessels. And of course, we did see on January 3rd a very major strike on the Venezuelan capital to extricate Nicolas Maduro. But those strikes on fishing vessels, on vessels in the Caribbean Sea, seem to be continuing. And of course, last week, what was certainly dominating a lot of interest here in St. Lucia was an apparent strike on the 13th of February, in which 3 persons were confirmed to have been killed by one of these quote-unquote kinetic strikes by U.S. military operations in the Caribbean Sea. This appeared to have occurred somewhere off the and possibly in the waters of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There have been suggestions, of course, and confirmations that, in fact, they did occur in Vincentian waters by Vincentian authorities. And since then, we've, of course, also seen the vessels or part of the vessel that was hit being found and then later on being brought ashore. And it has since also brought ashore in St. Lucia, that is, and has since also been taken into police custody or police care. So, of course, that is one of the major issues that will no doubt be front and center on the minds of many CARICOM leaders, this ongoing situation in respect of these killings of individuals within Caribbean waters. And in addition to that, the issue ongoing of humanitarian crises in both Cuba as well as Haiti. That situation there, of course, has been a long-standing, very difficult one. with a very extensive use of violence by gangs, in particular within the Haitian capital. And of course, we've seen efforts at play by CARICOM to try to see a return to democracy and a return to law and order in that country. The hope being that we may see some elections being held in the middle of 2026. Of course, a CARICOM Eminent Persons Group, of which former St. Lucia Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony is a lead member of, has been playing a role in trying to ensure that this happens. Of course, Haiti is a member of CARICOM, and their role there is, I mean, they're going to be represented at that heads of government meeting, which is supposed to start off very soon at the St. Kitts Marriott Hotel. But the matter of Cuba is a critical one, given, of course, our long-standing reliance on Cuban medical professionals being able to support our healthcare systems in the Caribbean. And that is in jeopardy at this time. Of course, not least because there have been direct orders by U.S. authorities to not be part of Cuban medical missions. And that has been very, very topical. We've seen individuals at the level of ministers in some countries, like that of Grenada, their visas being revoked because of them making public statements in this regard over the matter of keeping the system of Cuban medical missions. Of course, the United States position, they are accusing Cuba of human trafficking, of utilizing their citizens and using them to gain a revenue for the country, that they are not being paid suitably. And of course, on the other side of that, Caribbean countries like St. Lucia have said that they are in fact being paid just as any other medical professionals, whether they are St. Lucians or Cubans or from wherever. And of course, this matter has now also crept into the issue of the treatment of the students who are over in Cuba at this point as well, whether in fact they will continue to be able to remain in Cuba, given the tightening noose of American sanctions being brought on not only on Cuba, but on any country that seems to want to give any kind of assistance to it. And so the issue of oil has been a major one. Of course, for quite a while, people have said that Cuba's existence has been in large part due to their very strong relations with the regime in Venezuela. And of course, Venezuela was providing a tremendous amount of support to Cuba by way of oil shipments. But now, of course, with the situation at play, we've seen, of course, even in the U.S., in the Caribbean Sea, U.S. Military, U.S. Navy ships actually taking possession of oil tankers in those waters. So it's a very, very tenuous and difficult situation that confronts Cuba at this moment. And of course, it has also meant that even one of their leading industries, that of tourism, is suffering. Some countries, in particular countries like Canada, for example, and their airlines are no longer flying to Cuba because they cannot be guaranteed of jet fuel. They This, of course, means that the tourism sector in Cuba and places like Veraderos are going to be tremendously impacted. At one point in time, of course, us right here in St. Lucia, we were getting a little concerned at this rising giant of Cuba being, I think it had gotten to a point where it was the second most popular Caribbean destination. And we saw rising numbers, and there was, in fact, this fear that if Cuba continued along that path, it might be a real challenge for the Eastern Caribbean to keep up in terms of our own tourism. The situation right now, of course, is the exact opposite, and certainly perhaps does speak to the fickle nature of tourism, but is not a good situation for the Cuban people because of this issue. So, not having power to keep the lights on, not having enough power to maintain the basic services at this point. We're seeing issues in terms of garbage collection. No doubt about it, it's going to have tremendous hardship for the population in Havana and in other cities around Cuba at this time. And of course, the knock on economic impact that we're seeing in terms of flights not coming in, visitors no longer coming in. So all of that is very, very, very serious indeed for the Cuban people and the Caribbean, which a country which has quite often let its voice be known on the matter of Cuba, is certainly going to have to see what it's going to say to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who, of course, is of Cuban descent and has been one of the leading proponents on this charge against the Cuban regime, and to see how that all pans out. So we'll have to get some feedback, hopefully, to see what are the outcomes of this CARICOM heads of government meeting over in St. Kitts and Nevis. No doubt we would love to be a fly on the wall to hear what is being said and who will be speaking up on these matters with the U.S. Secretary of State. We, of course, have heard other leaders lamenting the current situation, the current state of play in terms of Caribbean diplomacy, to the extent that even the likes of former Jamaican Prime Minister P.J. Patterson saying the following: "I have been undergoing a level of personal torment which is indescribable, because what I see is a total reverse of the courage, the boldness, the foresight, a willingness to fight formidable odds, which were all evident in the meeting of December the 8th, 1972, and the present time." And the words of former Jamaican Prime Minister Percival J. Patterson, speaking about personal torment in terms of what he is seeing in the Caribbean at a time like this, of course. The question is, who will speak up? Who will speak out? Given the current state of play in global politics, the very, very clear efforts by the Trump administration at this point, and elements within the Trump administration to be pretty brutal about their approach to the Caribbean. What we're seeing unfolding in the Caribbean Sea, Caribbean waters, certainly will be raising lots of question marks, I would think, for Caribbean leaders as to the true sincerity of U.S. action at this time. And will there be any other soulagement coming to Caribbean leaders? What really is on offer in this state of play, which seems to be a zero-sum game, which seems to be a winner-take-all approach to diplomacy and to what is playing out at a time like this right here in our very own backwater. That's our dish of the day. And when we come back, we, of course, will take in our weather report.
This has been The Daily Dish.
St. Lucia, don't just celebrate this independence. Renovate with huge savings on tires at Island Stars. Step inside, spot the color tags, and save. With yellow, blue, and black for 12, 15, and 20% off. We're talking ceramic and porcelain tires, plus toilets, showers, and vanities to upgrade your whole bathroom. That's not all. Get 18 by 18 ceramic tires starting at just $6.99 and 24 by 24 porcelain tires starting from only $19.95. Visit us today in Castries, Viewport, Rodney Bay, or call 450-452 or 453-TILE. That's 8453. The savings are in full color at Island Style.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And that's all, of course, the 1.1 is now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from the east near 20 miles per hour or 31 kilometers per hour. The weather partly cloudy to cloudy at times. The weather partly to cloudy at times and breezy with a few brief showers. And there is an advisory in air which reads the small craft operators and sea beavers are advised to exercise caution due to brisk winds and locally rough seas. The forecast for Little Antilles, partly cloudy to cloudy, breezy with light to moderate showers. And the weather summary, the Atlantic high pressure system will maintain moderate to brisk easterly winds and locally rough seas across the Eastern Caribbean region during the next few days. Patches of low-level clouds drifting along the wind flow will cause some showers across the island chain during the next 24 hours. And this has been your weather forecast as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
St. Lucia, don't just celebrate this independence. Renovate with huge savings on tires at Island Stars. Step inside, spot the color tags, and save. With yellow, blue, and black for 12, 15, and 20% off. We're talking ceramic and porcelain tires, plus toilets, showers, and vanities to upgrade your whole bathroom. That's not all. Get 18 by 18 ceramic tires starting at just $6.99 and 24 by 24 porcelain tires starting from only $19.95. Visit us today in Castries, Viewport, Rodney Bay, or call 450-452 or 453-TILE. That's 8453. The savings are in full color at Island Style.
Welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. And of course, the number to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, it is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And you can also reach us on our WhatsApp number. That is 284-6001. 284-6001. Let's go to the phone lines at this time to take in some calls. Good afternoon and welcome to the lunchroom.
Mr. George.
How are you doing, caller?
Not too bad.
Very well.
Now, I have something saying is not independent. So I don't know where they take that because they've seen Federation making commerce too. They borrowing from they have the CIP to all they own. They stand up and they own 2 and create all certain. How can they do that if they're not independent?
Okay, I heard something about CIA, but I lost some of what you said.
CIP.
Oh, CIP. Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. What about the CIP?
Now, yeah, we doing all that, selling passports, doing all. Yet still St. Lucian standing up and said we are not independent. So, what basis and what we are not independent?
Well, I guess if maybe speaking about a different kind of independence, probably maybe not the political independence, but we are maybe not economically independent. I mean, maybe that's what is being put forward. I mean, we sometimes speak very generally, and a lot of people will say, well, we're a small island, we can't really do anything for our own, and so in that sense, we may not be independent, we're dependent. But I think, especially in this current world that we live in, which is so very much interconnected, in terms of trade and the economies of these countries, very, very few countries can speak of being economically independent. We all are depending on,
But
the flow.
This is
But
without cutting across.
yes,
But the whole world like that.
of course,
The whole
of
like
course,
that.
of course.
The way they
And-
make cars now, you make a part in Japan and you make the car in America.
Very much so. Very much so. But
That's how we go in one especially with the silicon chip. They buy silicon chip from China.
Mhm.
They put it in the car in America. Okay, so that's
we in fact are by nature an interdependent world, right? But
yeah, that's
so
how. Yeah,
but the matter of
for St. Lucia to stand up and say, "Oh, we are not independent," they won't celebrate independence, and that is stupid. I'm sorry to say that. I don't like to hear people say we are not independent. We are independent. We're doing our best with what little we have. Okay? Now, the other thing is that chap there, Romeo, I don't know why they holding meeting with him.
or
because
Rubio,
he's the
Marco
one
Rubio.
ready after America to destroy Cuba.
Yeah. It's,
Rubbish truck, and now they have less than 5. And because they cannot get petrol to run those trucks. Havana is covered with rubbish, and but it's rubbish. You don't get rubbish for the rats and all those things. Then they use why are you after Cuba? Oh, Cuba is a failed state. You see, themselves failed state after you have been back for 40, 50 years against Cuba, and then you come in and call it a failed state. When Obama was there, Obama said, well, a few Cuban doctors could come in America. Those people in America, those people put money. Think Cuban doctors in Cuba never. Before you say Jack Robinson, 1,000 Cuban personnel in medical was in America. Why did you say that is a country? Could doctors in the third world country, you want to destroy it and call it a failed state? That is crap America going on there with. They should have no meeting with Rubio because he hates Cuba because his father was from Cuba.
well, like I said, I would love to hear what happens with that meeting, because I mean, what are you going to tell this
I don't know what you're going
this
to
leader?
tell them.
I mean,
Anyhow,
are you going to?
I will have a word with you as soon as that's private. After that.
Sure, yes, definitely, please.
Okay, thank you.
I'll do so. All right, then,
thank
caller.
you.
Thanks
Yeah.
very much for your thoughts and for your contribution. And of course, the number to call in to tell us what's on your plate today. It is 452-3046, 452-3046. We'd love to hear what you would like our CARICOM leaders to be telling Mr. Marco Rubio at this upcoming intervention or meeting with them. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. And what's on your plate today?
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Very good, caller. How are you?
All right. You saw about the Monroe Doctrine and Uncle Sam. That's what he's going to bring back. That means he wanted to squeeze the Caribbean, so the Caribbean under it to go into under his wing.
You think that's
So
what?
I leave in a message. They maybe listen to your program, listen to everything. What the government have to do when they in that meeting tomorrow, all of them put one head. Just remember slavery. We don't have manufacturer. That's why everybody have to try to trade in different other ways. And they kill them on the sea. And then they try to all the best to survive because the system they create is so it's so squeezing. And they England and America that create that kind of system. So therefore, in future, they will catch it back the same. Listen to that. The Caribbean was listed for 99 years for America, you know. You never heard that?
Sorry, the Caribbean was leasing what for 99 years?
The Caribbean was listed after World War One and World War One.
After World War
America
II, you're talking about the bases for ships
Yes.
agreement. Yes.
Yes, they didn't have no money after the war because America gave them so much money. So they listen the Caribbean for America. If you go in grocery, you see a pole by before Rodney Bay back in the U.S.
Well, those were the U.S. Bases that were built during World War II.
That's correct. That's World War II. Now in World War One, when England was terrorizing the world to get in, which is like, and they tell you under the earth is hell, and there they getting resources. So they terrorize the world in how they can killing Africans, tell them the history is not the history, making our ancestors, they brainwash them. Our ancestors today tell you, if you go by any ancestors today about 99 to 100 years, they tell you white people is God. After they so brainwashed, and that is not true. So that is what they try to bring. But like, I live in something with those that listen. That system will not, if that system come, it will not last long. And number one, all the Caribbean that go in that meeting, Jamaica in 1958, that's the one that moving. That's why the United Caribbean mash up. So I listened to the news this afternoon. They say that he, and what he said a while ago, he going to be there. Jamaica going to be there. Trinidad will be there. I hope all of them come with one agenda and or no for any of Marco Rubio and the other fella with him. We are not one to back in that system. What we want, we need some manufacture so we can fast manufacture certain things in the Caribbean.
All right.
You listen to what I'm saying?
Thanks very much, caller.
No, I hold a point, and I hope they listen and they try to put it, because I don't mean the minister, they listen to our program, you know. Maybe they will be careful what to say. But if we continue as though we doing a demonstration on the program, I believe they will put something in the head, because Marco Rubio and the other one, they come with a book. You know what the book is? The book in the head. They have one mind and one agenda they come with. So we have to have an agenda, no, of any principle that will keeping us back in the 1942, that is backward, and then they put in that the day of error in England ruled the world in 5,006 years, and then Rook America wanted to hold the same pattern. No. We don't want no king. The king is the father that created heaven and earth. And you see the sun and the wind that there for life, and that never changed. We see how many disciples passed, and that's still there. See how all the big, where them? We don't see them again. Where England? We don't see them again. And what America do there? Maybe we don't have to be afraid, because the time is near. Because I remember what he say. I remember what the Prime Minister of America say. He say, Maduro, these are numbers, but tell him the wickedness of head of states of power. These are numbers. They don't know when, we don't know. But thank you very much. That's my contribution.
Okay. Thanks very much, caller, and have yourself a good day. And of course, the number to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, it is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And we're going to head to the phone lines again to take in another call. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today?
Mr. George, how are you?
Very good, caller. How are you doing?
All right, and your whole family, everybody, your dad, your children.
They're very blessed. Thanks very much for asking.
Good. But you know, Trinidad issued some government bonds recently, and they were oversubscribed. They didn't have enough, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, what does that say to you? The Americans greasing that lady well, you know.
You think that's where the money was coming from to buy those bonds?
How you mean? So I don't
know.
I
don't know.
In that meeting, Trinidad will be in that meeting.
Yes, she said she's going to be there. Yes.
Yeah, well,
certainly.
When will that meeting take place?
Well, the opening ceremony is from tonight, and I think the main session is really tomorrow and the day after. Yeah.
Yeah, because let me tell you, people. I hear people talking about Mr. Pierre should say something. You know, we as private citizens, we are at liberty to say what we want, you know, to an extent, you know. But Mr. Pierre has to be very pragmatic here, you know, because he can't. Nobody's saying anything. You think he'll just go out on a wing and make a statement of get emotional about, you know, the whole issue of slavery and all this kind of thing, and make a statement. It's just not the strategic thing to do, you know, colleagues. You know, and that is why a lot of people questioning, you know, the elder gentleman was saying, you don't see why people questioning the independence, because you could like the world is interrelated, all right? No country has everything, and you have to trade and so on and so forth. We understand that, but there must be a measure of independence in terms of your opinion, that you know, like if you feel, you know.
But as a CARICOM, well, that's fine, that's fair, I agree. But as a CARICOM block, with all of us facing very similar circumstances, we've been in this. We all know we have a common history. You know, we've been through a lot together. We're part of a CARICOM community. Don't you think that we should, at least one person should speak up? I mean, whether it's the chairman of CARICOM, you know, something needs to be said. No, don't you think?
Speaking for the others.
Well, yes. Speaking as a whole.
That you can't go before. So in other words, you can't, you know, preempt that meeting or and just go and say anything. You know what I'm saying? Because he must realize how vulnerable St. Lucia is in the whole economic, you know, the whole situation we face in.
Well, okay, but caller, we've always been vulnerable, eh?
America could we say, and you know, it sounds all right for people to say we must look for new partners and so on and so forth. But these same partners you're looking for have to abide by America's wishes, whims, and fancies to a great extent, you know. You know, if America say jump, they have to jump. If they say stoop, they have to stoop. You know, that's the reality of, you know, this kind of politics, global, you know, geopolitical situation. You know, it's militarism. You know, it's the dominant factor here. Yeah, it's the dominant factor, and whether we fly high or fly low. Because, say for example, Rubio comes there and he says, well, okay, you could have our opinion, yeah, but our opinion, our stand is that, our position is that we don't want you all entertaining and Cuban professionals and paying them, you know, paying the Cuban government to continue that kind of regime, that kind of relationship. All right? You say, okay, well, we know you cannot tell us what the nature of the relationship with Cuba should be. Right there, you put yourself in a vulnerable position there. You understand? Because they could take the measures to make you accede to their situation.
But what are those measures, and are they lawful and legal measures? I mean, because we've always had a situation.
Which me local lawful?
By international
lawful and legal to America.
Okay. Now this is a very dangerous situation, because then basically what you're saying is that we have this player who's the most powerful player right now, and they are not playing fair, right? So does that mean that once that most powerful player is not playing fair, everybody now has to effectively be quiet about what that person is doing, what that one entity is doing?
Yeah, but
I mean, that's what we're saying right now in terms of the world, right?
No. You go to UN. UN has no teeth. Okay. All the programs that UN could assist you with, America cutting them off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go to UN, you make a lot of noise. But look at the Middle East everywhere. You know, they tell you they have a peace plan, while they keep on killing people. They have a peace plan. They keep on killing people, and they still come to you, and you still sit down with them and talk about a peace plan. You know. Now, when you say these things to people, probably they feel you are just being, pessimistic. You know. But by all means, I think in a country and our geographic position even make us more vulnerable.
Definitely.
To America.
Oh yeah, certainly.
So I mean, if the gentleman just one morning, one day, or whatever decides, well, I'm taking out this guy, man. I've had enough of him. This Maduro guy. How many years he's been, just there fooling around, and we are doing nothing about him. We haven't been, let's do something. What has happened there? And he lives, you take out the guy. What is going to stop Mr. Trump if he wake up one morning, he hears that our prime minister says something that he's not in harmony with?
Mm.
Okay, and he says, this Pierre guy, he's I don't like him, he's. I think Mr. Chasney is a better person to have there, and because Mr. Pierre is not in the interest of the country. You think he talk about for elections coming there in his rationalizing of the whole situation? It's we that telling ourselves that's important,
Mm-hmm.
But the way he's thinking, I mean, this gentleman is not thinking the way we expect. The conventional ways we know that people, the logic and all this kind of thing, in rational, in reason.
Well, I don't know, because
it's just gone out of the thing, and it's just become impulsive, and
But caller, you would know very well that kind of thinking is not so old. You're saying you're making it sound of it is non-conventional, but some may tell you that this is very conventional in terms of how the United States used to operate for a very long time. The regime change. Setting up a government to fail and then removing the leader and putting in a puppet leader. We've been there
of course.
many times.
No, exactly. So ultimately, look at you look down the history and look at now. Where has that led all these, opposition to the way America operates over the past 30, 40, 50 years? I mean, I could say 50, even 60 years. Where has that really brought us? We have seen the Gaddafis, we have seen the Castros, we have seen, the Nyeri's,
the Nkrumahs,
mm-hmm. We have seen the
Lumumbas,
we have seen the Gandhis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We have, You know what I mean? You have seen the Marcus Garveys. We have seen all these progressive people come and go. And where are we at now, Calix? Yeah?
Well, there are two ways of looking at it too, because
where are we at now, Calix? Tell me something that would genuinely give people courage to think that after all these decades,
right,
of fighting against these things. Look at where a man like had his people, Gaddafi. You know what I mean? Educating them, all kind of things. Look at where Castro, and then look at these countries now, my brother. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No, but
I'm with you.
I'm not getting a reaction from you. I'm wondering. I mean, I know
you think
can talk.
you're
a man that could talk.
So you're saying that it's hopeless and pointless to put up any kind of resistance.
No, I've said what I want to say.
Okay.
What are you saying?
No, I'm just waiting for the strategy. I'm trying to hear from you. Because
but I'm giving you the strategy. We just have to be pragmatic here.
Right.
If we have to be pragmatic and and play it as because we can't let our people suffer just through our rhetoric, our what we call. You can't compromise our people's survival to what we may consider sincerity.
But since
because we know he's a leader of a country of people. The people must come first. What would the people say? You think the majority might say, "Well, tell Trump he can't do that. He can't tell us what to do."
Mm-hmm.
You'll follow that. Your advisors will tell you that's the way to go. Yeah?
Right.
Tomorrow. Okay, no ships are coming down. No cruise liners, nothing in the harbor, nothing are running. Dog in St. Lucia. What happened now? You run and tell him, man, I tell you that man was, didn't know what he was doing. That's why we had one year, you should vote. You should have voted for Mr. Chasney because that would have never happened. He would have never taken a position in favor of Cuba or in Venezuela. That's the situation we're facing, So, and in that regard, you wonder when we talk about independence, one man, one vote, and all this kind of thing, and make a big thing about that.
So the approach is pragmatic leadership. Well, I'm glad it's coming from you.
but that's what it is. Okay. What? No. So what you suggesting now?
Oh no, I think you have to be pragmatic in all things.
You're not saying it's pragmatic. You have to be pragmatic.
But at the same time, I do believe.
You're not only pragmatic, you're diplomatic.
But I do be okay. That too. I think that's very important, and I do believe that things are shifting, and the fact that you're seeing this kind of behavior by the U.S., this almost level of desperation that they're engaging in with the world, there is clearly a level of unease. There's clearly a level of unease on their end, and so they've decided, you've got to have a no holds barred type of approach to dealing with the world at this point in time. This is what Trump is effectively engaging in. But that is a response, in my view, to they having the benefit of the foresight to see what is coming, right? They're clearly seeing a significant shift in terms of global influence and global control. Now, in as much as we're saying, well, we're in a situation of flux right now, and we have to be a little wary ourselves, because for all intents and purposes, we pretty much hinged with the United States. I mean, by far, economically, monetarily, in every sense of it, we are very much hinged there. And so that we also need to make sure that if things flip the other way, that we can somehow pivot very quickly too, eh?
But that's what the
Okay.
is all about.
All right.
Because remember Castro. I mean, a lot of people will like to talk about the Cuban Revolution and Cuban Revolution, but to a great extent, that was bankrolled by Russia. No.
Yes.
Which was, a formidable foe to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. But
and we don't have no such foe. We could call to the Chinese. The Chinese wouldn't come and back us up against America in this region. Anyway, my brother.
Okay, we're going to have to end it here, though. But a very interesting conversation indeed. Thanks very much for that.
All right.
Now, we're going to have to end our program here for the day. Of course, we'll be back again tomorrow, God willing, for another session of the Lunchroom. And we do hope you can join us for that program. Take care.
St. Lucia, this independence, we are celebrating 47 years of freedom. Freedom to grow, freedom to dream, freedom to connect. So this year, Digicel is giving you double the love for St. Lucia, double the connection. Activate any Prime or Ultra plan and get double data from 6 gigabytes on a 1-day plan all the way up to 80 gigabytes on a 30-day plan. That's more connection for every St. Lucian. Plus, when you top up $40 or more, enjoy $47 bonus credit to keep real connections going. 47 years strong. Double the data, double the celebration. Only with Digicel. Powered for St. Lucia. Activate a plan today.
In St. Lucia, one station appreciates its listeners more than the rest.
Thank you. Far too kind.
It's RCI, the Caribbean Sound, 101.1.
Try to fight me down each and every day. They try to pull me down, most of them wouldn't pay. Can't take none from me that you can't give to yourself. It's not that you don't like me, you just really don't love yourself. Love yourself. might come from hateful hearts. I know that it is mine. One by one they take their shots. Giants that run front line. Man, born and rebel from birth, yeah. Value life for its worth, yeah, yeah. They try to fight me down each and every day. They try to pull me down, most of them wouldn't pay. Can't take nothing from me that you can't do yourself. It's not that you don't like me. You just really don't love yourself. Love yourself. Are you mad that I'm proud of myself? Or mad you're ashamed? Are you mad that I freed myself? While you're still in chains? Forgive them, they're so confused. I know it is bright. Love sees through their hateful hearts. You're on my front line. Man born and rebel from birth, yeah. Value life for its worth, yeah, yeah. They try to fight me down each and every day. They try to pull me down, most of them wouldn't pay. Can't take none from me that you can't give to yourself. It's not that you don't like me. You just really don't love yourself. I'm a reflection of you. You're a reflection of me. No negative thoughts, yeah. Watch what you keep in your heart. In the city, some say.
How do I get through a day without you? If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, I need you in my heart, need you in my soul. You're my world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, you would take away everything good in my life. And tell me now, how do I live without you? I want to know. How do I breathe without you? If you ever go, how do I ever survive? How do I live? destruction and poverty. Oh my, my, my. And I feel like I wanna go. Oh, it's okay. You're coming with me. Live up, it's okay. Live up, it's alright. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It will take an eternity to break us. It will take all the stars just to hold us. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It will take an eternity to break us. It will take all the stars just to hold us. I'm not together. Support the ladies. I'm not together. Making all of these babies. I'm not together. I'm not together. Get something. I'm not together. Whatever you do, you gotta get something. I know just how to be smart, and I know just how to cry. I know just where to find the answers, and I know just how to lie. I know just how to fake it, and I know just how to scheme. I know just when to face the truth, and then I know just when to dream. And I know just where to touch you, and I know just what to prove. I know when to pull you closer, and I know when to let you loose. And I know the night is fading, and I know the time gonna fly. And I never gonna tell you everything I gotta tell you, and I know I gotta give it a try. And I know the road to reach it, and I know the ways to fail. I know all the rules, and I know how to break, and then I only know the name of the game. But I don't know how to leave you, and I never let you fall. And I don't know how you do it, making love out of nothing at all. Out of nothing at all. Out of nothing at all. Out of nothing.
February dan yet, you know. Yeah, February dan yet, you know. I see my band sitting in love there. It's Tuesday. Who's loving you? First off, let me just say good afternoon to each and everybody today. We are in the mix till 6 segment. In the mix till 6. Remember, yeah. But despite that, also just let me remind you that we are in the digital sponsored half hour from 2 until 2:30 sharp. And I know you guys are enjoying the music in the meantime, but let me just remind you guys that there's more than one way to win this Valentine's season. Activate a plan, sign up for a bundle, pay your bill in full, or switch on over to Digicel to qualify for a luxurious weekend getaway. Remember, prepaid customers can keep the love strong by activating a 7-day 10GB plan and qualifying for a hotel getaway this Valentine's. And to me postpaid customers, couples who switch can be off on a vacation. All you gotta do is switch, bundle, or pay your bill in full. Digicel Plus, real fiber, real connection. Great deal for home internet. Yes, it is Tuesday, the 24th of February. Tikut, alongside me Selector Kwan. Kwan, it's been a very long weekend. So let me get the people rejuvenating today, yeah? Yeah? Not too much hype, but just enough hype, yeah? RCI 101.1, the Caribbean sound. Selector Kwan, let me go again.
No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me aside and I can't break through.
Select a quad.
It's so sad that you leave it. It takes time to believe it. But after all is said and done, you're gonna be my only one. Oh, do you believe that I've got to love? I can feel something inside me say, really don't think it's strong enough now. Do you believe that I've got to love? I can feel something inside me say, really don't think it's strong enough now. Oh, baby. I'm that star up in the sky. I'm that mountain peak up high. Yeah, I made it. Oh, I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope. When my back against the ropes, I can feel it. Oh, I'm the world's greatest. I am the mountain. I am the tall tree. Oh, I am the sweet wind sweeping the country. I am a river down in the valley. Oh, I am a vision I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look me in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky. I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it. Oh, I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope. When my back against the ropes, I can feel it. Oh, I'm the world's greatest.
If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right. If being right means being without you, I'd rather be wrong doing life. Your mom and daddy said it's a shame, it's a downright disgrace. But long as I got you by my side, I don't care what your people say. Your friends tell you it's no future in loving a married man. If I can see you when I want, I'll see you when I can. If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right. If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right.
From your music on this, you say you love me and you care, but you never then near. You're always on the run. Now tell me this, why we can't spend no quality time? Kick back and just unwind. You always have something to do. That simple mean that love you're not true, cause only when you want to me hear you shout I love you. Tell me where all the passion gone, all of the warmth. Tell me where is all of the tenderness. And there is something else that's been bugging me for so long. Tell me this, tell me if love's so nice. Tell me why it hurts so bad. Madang, if love's so nice. Tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice. Tell me why it hurts so bad. Madang, if love's so nice. Tell me why I'm sad.
Ooh, the shape I made. And would you believe I lost the race again?
Select a one. Bang,
But
bang,
I'm
bang.
coming again, cause I just gotta get in. Cause I'm trying to get to you, to you, to you. To break the walls away is as obvious as the colors of your hair. And would you believe that I really care? Cause I'm trying to get to you, yeah. Hey little girl, each time you pass my way, I'm tempted to touch. Oh baby, the dress you wear, your perfume, keep me wanting you so much.